Fatal Friday is here again. Good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. Welcome to this thing that I do called Thor's Entertainment. I am Thor, and Fatal Friday is a series I do revolving around Mortal Kombat 1. I look back on my gameplay from when I was going into the Kombat League and casually trying to get unique finishers against random people, just whoever I was paired up against. In my rotation of characters, it is Homelander's turn to be the main roster character of a video again. Only this week I don't feel like doing one of his finishers. He will still be my main roster character, but I am going to highlight a different brutality. This time is going to be for a cameo character I have not used before in one of these videos.
You finally become who you're meant to be. Pure, clean, like marble.
That cameo character is going to be Darrius, and I am highlighting his brutality, Here Catch. Whenever it comes to Darrius, Here Catch is his throw brutality. And I might be wrong about this, but I feel like whenever I was playing this game with Darrius and Homelander, around that time, Darrius only had two finishers. He had that throw brutality and he had a fatality. Around that time, Homelander was new and most of the cameo characters had three different finishers. They had two brutalities and one fatality. Although I recall Darrius only having two finishers for some reason. And when looking at the gameplay I recorded, I only have two finisher videos for Darrius, so I think that might be correct. Now, a lot of time has gone by since I played as Homelander and Darrius, so Darrius probably has more finishers now. After all, I think most of the roster ended up getting more fatalities and brutalities after I stopped playing the game. Still, let me know if you know. Did Darrius have more than the throw brutality and his fatality whenever the game was released, or were those the only ones that he had? Getting away from my inquiries about the number of finishers he had back in the day, this fight is going to be between my Homelander and another Homelander. Only the random person that I was fighting against in the Kombat League was using a different cameo. They were using Sareena. And up to this point in the set, I have to say my opponent was so far the better Homelander. That Homelander ends up taking the very first round of this first match, and I was really just not getting anything going. And in all fairness, Darrius was not the most useful cameo for me when using Homelander. I would not say that Darrius is a bad cameo. After all, he can do some pretty good things with certain characters like Reiko. Although whenever pairing up Darrius and Homelander, I was not really doing so because Darrius just elevated Homelander in some way. I was definitely doing it because I felt like I could win with Homelander in spite of Darrius. Like, it really did not matter which cameo I had, the character of Homelander was pretty good. Especially whenever he was first released. So I was using the opportunity to have a really good character carry a cameo that was very situational. And I was trying to get the finishers for Darrius that way. And in all fairness, that strategy was actually working out pretty good for me. Even though I was not really playing all that well as Homelander, I was still managing to pick up wins with this team. And I ended up getting both of Darrius's finishers with this team up. So I guess I wasn't exactly wrong. Although, as you can tell, the success I had with Darrius and Homelander did not come without some difficulties as well. Because here in the very first match of this set, I end up losing, and it really wasn't much of a good showing on my part. Now, I wasn't exactly losing by huge margins, but I really wasn't playing all that well either. Not to worry though, that was only the first match. As long as I don't drop one more, everything is going to be okay. So I spent the last few moments of the previous match talking about how I really wasn't using Darrius to elevate Homelander. I guess I should say that I don't really know that Darrius is a bad cameo for Homelander. He might actually be pretty good, but he really wasn't all that good for me. Even so, there were a few tricks I picked up along the way, like Darrius can do some things for Homelander. Now, I do not use a lot of the tools that Darrius has, but one of the most useful ones is the spinning kick that he has. If you end up landing Darrius' spinning roundhouse kick, you are going to stun the opponent for a moment. Now, I found a few different attacks with Homelander that stall the opponent long enough for that kick to land, and I could use the spinning roundhouse kick to stun the opponent mid-combo and extend it. I don't really have great examples of that because in this matchup, I don't think I have any combos that even break 300 damage, but here are some of the things I was trying to do with Darrius. Homelander has a combo that ends in a command grab where he's gouging the eyes of the opponent. After Homelander is done with that, the opponent starts to fall backwards. If you time it right, you can summon Darrius and he will do his spinning roundhouse kick. and he should hit the opponent before they hit the ground. That will leave the opponent stunned for a moment, and at that point Homelander will have already let go of the opponent, which is very important because then, whenever Darrius lands the kick, Homelander does not get knocked back. If you were to do the kick too soon and Homelander was still holding the opponent's head, he would also get knocked back by the kick, and that generally meant that I would not have enough time to extend the combo. So with the eye gouge, I had to time it just right, but that was a way of keeping the combo going. Another way I would try to occasionally use that kick is whenever Homelander was grabbing and throwing the opponent, because Homelander has a really long throwing animation, and whenever he does throw the opponent, he basically throws them straight up in the air. And while they are flying into the stratosphere, Darrius has enough time to show up, do the roundhouse kick, and he can land that kick before they hit the ground, which means you can turn Homelander's throw into a full combo. Granted, throw combos are pretty weak, but that's still a pretty good tool to have. After all, if the opponent's health is low and you're just trying to close out the fight, it really does not matter if it's a weak combo or not. If it does enough, it does enough. Speaking of doing just enough, I was starting to get a little bit nervous. My opponent won the previous match by winning 2 consecutive rounds. I didn't get any of them. And then here in the second match, it was a must-win match, and I was already down 1 round. So altogether, I had lost 3 consecutive rounds before finally, just a moment ago, I won my very first round of the set, and just in time, because losing that last round would have meant losing the entire set, but I am not out of the woods just yet. I still absolutely have to win this third and final round, or I'm going to be pretty much in the exact same situation. Well, I guess not the exact same situation, considering I have a pretty good life lead against the other Homelander. They are below 30% health, and I'm above about 80? Well, now below 80, but as long as I don't completely screw up here, I should end up winning this round pretty comfortably. So a third and final match is pretty much guaranteed at this point. Now watch me say that and completely screw up and suddenly I lose, and yeah, that would be kind of embarrassing, and oh god, he's actually starting to come back in this fight. Okay, no big deal, I can still put away this fight, and he lands a throw. Okay, and okay, fatal blow, I block it, I punish it. Actually, you know what, screw it, let's go for the brutality.
Oh no, are you okay?
Brutality. Homelander wins.
What if Vot's right? What if I am just talent? What do you care what a bunch of mud people think?
Alright, we are still alive in this set, and that was the Here Catch Brutality for the Kameo Darrius. Now we find ourselves in a third and final match to settle who is going to be the victor in this set. Anyway, I got really sidetracked by how close that final round was. I was talking about Darrius' kick earlier and ways I could use it with Homelander. I have already mentioned using it with the eye gouge and the throw. Then the other example that comes to mind of me trying to use Darrius' spinning kick is whenever Homelander is attacking the opponent mid-air. Like if he does his diabolical dash, he knocks the opponent into the air and you keep the combo going, especially if it's towards the end of that combo and you grab the opponent by the neck mid-air. Whenever Homelander goes to drop the opponent, you can time Darrius' kick again, where he hits the opponent before they touch the ground, and you can keep the combo going a little bit. I kind of learned that when fighting somebody who was pairing up Natara and Darrius. Natara can do something really similar. My opponent was trying to time up the Darrius kick for whenever she drops me to the ground. I just applied the same logic to Homelander. And alright, after spamming the crap out of the Darrius throw, I use another one to win another round. That is 3 in a row, and now I just need one more to win the entire set. Oh, okay, or not. I wasn't expecting that, but okay, I win the entire set courtesy of a quitality. I'm not really sure why exactly my opponent quit. It was a pretty close set, but I guess a win is a win. I mean, I suppose I was spamming the crap out of projectiles in the Darrius throw. Maybe that got a little bit annoying, but yeah, I have no idea why they would have quit the fight. I don't know, maybe the router got unplugged or something. Anyway, thank you to my randomly paired up opponent in the Kombat League. I had fun fighting your Homelander. It was very close until the quitality happened. I don't know why it happened, but it happened. That's alright. Thank you for the set, and moving on, I managed to pull off the Here Catch Brutality for the Kameo Darrius. Because the set unexpectedly ended, I did not get to go for it a second time, but that's okay. I got it once and that is enough. I'll make sure to show it one more time at the very end of this outro. That way we get to enjoy it one more time before we part ways on this Fatal Friday. So yeah, at this point I'm using Homelander to drag Darrius kicking and screaming to victory, and I managed to pull off a brutality in the process. Like I said, I only have one more finisher video for Darrius. That's going to be for his fatality. And again, I'm going to be doing that with Homelander because, well, I don't really need a Kameo to win with Homelander. Overall, he was a pretty solid character, and I did not really feel like I needed much Kameo support in order to win with that character. That is also the reason I ended up using him to win with Shujinko and get his fatality. So just know you'll eventually see that in the future as well. But yeah, I think I used the most Kameo variety with Homelander out of all the characters in the game. Off the top of my head, the cameos I've used with Homelander include Cyrax, Sector, Sareena, Darrius, and Shujinko. So Homelander ended up being really useful in getting the finishers for the cameos. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you for checking it out, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to check out the other things I have on the Thor's Entertainment channel. I do have plenty of other Mortal Kombat 1 finisher videos. And I also have playthroughs of other games like Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver, the remakes of Resident Evil 1 and 2, and soon I'll be adding the remake of Resident Evil 3 to that list as well. And then I also have some random stuff like the remaster of Crash Bandicoot. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, feel free to check it out. But yeah, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for watching the video, take care, and hopefully I will see you next time.
Oh no, are you okay?
Brutality. Homelander wins.